Well, Harbor Freight came through for me. They spot ordered me some of these brackets. So this side of the wall is going to get some as well. I'll just have a tunnel down through the middle. Don't need much room. Just need enough to get in to sort the log on the edge. And we should be good. But we got a big mess in here to clean up, and the best way to do it is with your blower. Yeah, I've got an edge to put on this. That way I'll protect the end of the plywood there, and everything on the inside will be able to sweep out much easier without getting down inside the body of the trailer. So we'll get this cleaned off, and then we'll go ahead and install that metal. It shouldn't take long, quick and easy. All right. So what am I using for a metal flashing? Well, the cheapest thing you can find, of course. And what is that? That is a gutter, metal gutter, $10 a stick. If I just bought this piece from here to here, that's $23. I get this much extra, and it only cost me 10 bucks. Got to think about it. Yeah, you see there? It don't take much. We're making it work. Well, there you go. Got it all the way across that 16-foot door. Did I forget to mention, this is Sawmill tune-up day. That's right, I got a lot to take care of. Let me show you. So this sawmill is 9 years old, and it has a couple of issues that I knew about. One of them being this little track sweeper here. What it does is it rubs against the track, keeping the sawdust off. As you can see, it is broken. You can turn them upside down. You can see here this little cleat that touches the top of the track to keep the sawdust off it as it rolls. They're broken. And the way that happened, being under a tarp, the wind would grab the saw and push it from end to end. I didn't realize that was happening, and would knock it off the track and break those. So right now, the top of the track isn't staying clean, so that's why you hear a rattle. There's a buildup of sawdust on that wheel. That wheel's right there. So we're going to take care of that, and we'll open these up, and the wick here needs automatic transmission fluid soaked into it, and it wipes the top of the wheel, keeping it clean as well. Alright, then we've got our ATF, automatic transmission fluid. I bought this 9 years ago to keep these wicks lubricated. And you're going to need a 7/16 socket to flip the scraper around. So we'll take the nut all the way off. And why is that? Because it is reversible. And that is the broken one, obviously. But the one nice thing is you can turn it around and be able to use it a second time. Well, after getting that off and inspecting this, I see it has bent here, so when it flipped off the last time, it probably crashed into the opposite end there where the stop was. So we'll see if we can pull that out a little bit. It'll help support that plastic piece. And you can see the wick is there, but it's not tight. So we'll go ahead and loosen this, and well, it looks like the other side is out of its bolt. So we'll go ahead and get those lubed up and tightened up as well. And we want a generous amount because we want this wick to be good and soaked. This won't hurt anything. Not on my end anyway. So you can see the wick has come out from under the bolt here. So we'll go ahead and loosen that up. Get that tucked back under that big washer there. Because that is going to keep the wheel lubricated and clean. And we have another one of the scrapers here that's in pretty bad shape. We'll go ahead and turn it around as well. Yes, if I can keep my fingers out of the way, even this one can be flipped around and used once again. Like I say, I do have more ordered, but that is gonna work to keep the track clean. All right, we got all the wheels taken care of there. They're all oiled up again. So now for the brake. As you can see, it should be stopping the wheel from turning, and I've noticed as it does get turned off, it's not stopping very fast. It's just kind of freewheeling. So let me show you where that adjustment is. On this particular model, it's right here on the motor. So as I let off the motor from pulling the belt tight, that nut right there needs to be turned in a little bit, which will let that brake stop a little bit quicker. That's just a wear item on the brakes, but there's been no adjustment done yet, so we should have plenty of adjustment yet. I also want to check my blade guide bearings. And what we'll do is we'll take the tension off the blade, and it's done with this lever. So there should be no tension on the blade. Yep. So we're going to check these bearings. They are rolling nicely. It won't hurt to clean those up. Put a little bit of automatic transmission fluid on them as well. We just don't want it on the inside of the belt, where it'll make the belt slip. That shouldn't be too much trouble. Well, I have taken the blade off just so I can clean everything without being cut and get all this sawdust out. When you're using the watering system to keep the blade cool, it'll sling water up in here, so you're going to get a little bit of sawdust sticking to everything. All right, we've got the blade off, and this is the tire that the blade rides on. As you can see, there's a bunch of sawdust build up on it. I think a little bit more of the pine sol in the water will help with that. But with that watering system, I didn't want a whole bunch of suds, so I guess I didn't get enough in there, so we'll try that. But we'll go ahead and clean this up. Get this side cleaned up as well. And on to the next part. And remember, your belt that runs the saw blade around, that's also the tire. So it should be cleaned off as well. You see there's no tension on it because the motor's in the relaxed and off position. Goes right back on. No problem at all. We'll put the blade back on. And if you have office hands, you might want to use gloves. So I see the blade is coming off of the back of the bearing. That's supposed to keep it forward. So what we'll do is we'll adjust this wheel here. Possibly getting new tires, which is both belts, will help. But we'll go ahead, and it could just be the blade is stretched itself. We'll go ahead and move that a little bit. It's an easy thing to adjust back if that was the issue. So just like it says, clockwise to move the blade outward, or counterclockwise to move the blade inward. Well, that's worse, so we'll go the other way with that nut. Take the tension off again and rotate it counterclockwise. Well, I'll hold you when I start it up this time, but we'll check that bearing out one more time, see if we have that wheel set correctly. On to the next step, and that'll be checking the tension there to make sure the blade is tight enough. It's never been moved, so we'll take a look at that as well. So as it says here, the back of the washer should align with the gauge, and this is the gauge. And right now I have the pressure off. So I'll start to put the pressure on, and you see it lines up nicely. And these bearings are the ones to keep the track straight. We'll get them a little bit of ATF as well, just in case they want to grumble. I won't hear it everywhere because sawdust sticks to everything. We'll come around. This is the locking side. As you can see, it holds on the pipe. We'll give a little bit of ATF here for the slidey parts. This seems to be working well yet. The cable is inside here. Not much I can do about it other than give it a taste of oil right next to the bearing. And of course you do have an adjustment here if your saw is getting heavy. And of course we need to check the oil. We're going to change it anyway. And we're on the full mark. But there's a little bit of water by the looks of it in there because this thing has lived outside. Even though it was under a little tin shed, there's enough moisture in the air around here. So go ahead and get the oil changed. We got one on each side, depending on which side needs oiled the most, I guess. But I'll go get my oil pan and pop one of the sides off and refill it with oil. Now we'll go ahead and fill the oil up. And I bought this oil 9 years ago. I got 5 quarts, and this is my last quart. It's been out in the outdoor shop, and the moisture's gotten to it, but it's the oil I got for the saw. And it's going to want the full 12 ounces. You see there, right near the top. That's in the safe zone. Then we drop it down, and you see it's right full. Well, I've weighed each of these boards, and they're right at 52 pounds each. That's 400 pounds on there. I do have a little bit more log here yet. Should be able to get 6 pieces out of that, and then I'm going to resaw the edges on those. So I'll end up with about 10 sticks more. We're getting it.